Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Sorry, the hair is a bit of a mess. I just got back from my first shift of anesthesia of my fourth year of medical school. It was technically my first real day of fourth year since my first couple rotations were online. Look at this puppy. It was a great day, great rotation, intubated 2 patients, which is super exciting for me because I want to go into emergency medicine. And intubating is such an important part of emergency medicine. And so I'm really glad that I'm getting, some good intubations under my belt before going into my ER rotations during fourth year. But I wanted to talk about a few things that really make fourth year very unique and very different from your third year of medical school. The first one, which is absolutely amazing, is the fact that I get to come home from my rotations, no matter what they are, and I can relax and I do not have to study for a shelf exam or a board exam. It is amazing, you guys. If you're just starting your third year of medical school, you have already realized that coming home after a long day in whatever rotation that you're currently in, and then having to study for that particular shelf exam and to start thinking about your step 2 and COMLEX 2, it's stressful, and you really don't realize how stressed you are until you are in my position as a fourth year and you don't have to study for those things anymore. It's really quite nice. Now, I shouldn't say that I'm not studying for anything, because you should always be kind of studying for something, whether that's just to get better and to gain more knowledge in whatever rotation you're in, or for the specialty that you plan on going into as a resident. And so I'm definitely going to be, looking over some things, particularly about anesthesia and about intubating patients, learning dosages of medications that you'll be using to intubate people. And then those same medications can also be used for conscious sedation, which is primarily used in the emergency room when you're doing things like joint reductions or cardioverting someone out of AFib. The dosages are a little bit different. Basically, you cut them in half, but the medications are pretty much the same. And so I'll be learning those things right now and really getting a good handle on them. But I wanted to really mention that it's quite nice being a fourth year med student, not having to study for any large exams coming up. So hopefully, since I'm not doing a lot of extra studying, I can make more videos for you guys. So leave me a comment down below on things you guys want to know more about, if they're medically related or pre-med or just about my life. Just let me know down in the comments. So I said that fourth year is not as stressful as third year, and in a way that's true. But there are other stressors. So right now I'm kind of stressing and focusing a lot on my application for residency. It's very similar to your medical school application, where you can add 10 of those like activities, and you have a word count limit. And so you can add things like research or clubs that you are in, basically anything that helps you stand out and shows that you have been improving throughout medical school. So I've been kind of thinking about things like that I want to include. I've also been working on like a personal statement, which you also have to do for your residency application. And on top of that, I'm just making sure that everything is ready to go for my audition rotation. So you need to make sure, you got your TB test in, your all your immunization records are in. You need to make sure that these places, have all of the paperwork that they need. And so those are just some like clerical things that you have to worry about as a fourth year medical student. So the beginning of fourth year, in a sense, is a little bit stressful, but it's a different kind of stress. You're not studying and worrying about tests, but now you're worrying about your application for residency, and you're worried about your audition rotations and doing well in those. And you're going to be studying and trying to improve, day after day when you're doing your audition rotations. So those are kind of the things that I'm working on right now. But honestly, the nice thing is as a fourth year, you kind of can make your schedule however you want it to be. So if you didn't like a certain rotation, you don't ever have to do that rotation or that specialty ever again. You essentially get to apply and do whatever rotations that you want throughout the entire year. You also get quite a bit of time off during the year. Every school is different. At least at my school, we get 5 weeks of vacation to use wherever we want. And so that's pretty nice to be able to kind of schedule vacations that you want to take with friends or family, and just have a little bit of a break and be able to really just break up your fourth year nicely. But yeah, going back to like scheduling your fourth year, you guys can make it pretty much as chill as possible. And kind of the consensus I've gotten from other fourth year medical students, from the past, is kind of make your fourth year as easy as possible, because once you get into residency, it's going to be pretty rough and you're not going to have time to do a lot of things. And so everybody has said to really enjoy fourth year, learn as much as you can, but don't stress yourself out. Don't, make sure to use your breaks and to just kind of enjoy the year as much as possible. And one of the other questions that I always asked previous fourth year med students was, should you do multiple rotations in the specialty that you want to do in order to prepare yourself for, residency? And I feel like a lot of people said to just make your fourth year as easy as possible and as chill as possible. But if you ask me, I think doing whatever you can to help prepare you for residency is the way to go. Like, for example, I'm going to be doing probably at least half my fourth year in emergency medicine. And it's not that I necessarily want to prepare myself for residency, even though I do, and I will get that exposure, doing this many rotations in emergency medicine. But it's honestly because I enjoy emergency medicine more than any other specialty. And I really don't want to rotate in other specialties because I don't enjoy them as much as emergency medicine. So I think it's different based on specialty and based on your individual needs and wants. So I would say, have a good balance between doing rotations that are going to prepare you for residency, do rotations that you really enjoy doing. Take this time to dabble in specialties that you won't have the opportunity of doing ever again. This is your last chance to kind of explore other specialties and to kind of just have some fun. But I would say as long as you're doing things that you love fourth year, as well as having enough breaks to just kind of enjoy your fourth year, I think you'll be just fine. The other thing that I hear a lot from previous fourth year med students is that most of the attendings know you guys are fourth years. And if you're not going into their particular specialty, then they're not really going to care too much about you sticking around all day or really making your life hell. So I don't know if that's true or not. It's kind of the thing that I've heard. And I really don't plan on putting myself in a situation where I need to find that out. I've already done my surgical rotation, my OB-GYN rotation, and those were kind of enough torture for me. So I think I'm just going to stick with doing a lot of ER rotations and, using my time to just kind of chill with my wife and my family and go on a few vacations this fourth year, as well as just kind of fine-tuning my skills and learning as much as I can to be a really good emergency medicine resident. So I just wanted to kind of hop on here, guys, and talk a little bit about those things. But just, guys, you don't have to study for any tests fourth year. And that's the biggest difference, I would say, between third and fourth year. I mean, I'm just chilling right now. It's so nice to just come home from your rotations and just hang out or even just study for your own pleasure. If you saw something in your rotation and you want to just learn a little bit more about whatever you saw, I mean, it's so much more enjoyable to study things that you're interested in and for your own gain rather than to cram and do practice questions preparing for a standardized exam. I mean, it's complete night and day from, third year to fourth year. So So far, so good, you guys. Fourth year by far way better than third year, if you guys were wondering. So if you guys have any questions, about third year, fourth year, boards, whatever, drop them down in the comments and I'll get back to you guys. But yeah, hope to see you guys in another video very soon.